Why does my cat get the zoomies? This is a question that I actually asked myself at one point. This is our cat, Chloe. She's about a year old, a little over a year old, and she still gets the zoomies all the time. So I did the research myself to figure this out, and I wanted to share the information with other pet parents who I'm sure have the exact same question. So Chloe was getting the zoomies all the time at all hours of the day. Sometimes it's morning, noon, in the middle of the night she would get the zoomies. And so I wanted to figure it out. And it turns out that there are some pretty common reasons why cats get the zoomies, including sleep habits, hunting instinct, and bathroom issues. It could, in a very, very rare case, be some sort of health-related issue, but that's really, really rare if your cat would be running around like that sporadically if there was a health issue. But for example, if there was a brain tumor, that could cause erratic behavior like that. So really the only time that you have to worry that it's a health issue is if your pet is getting the zoomies sporadically and very often, say like every 15 minutes, every half an hour, even once an hour. That's a lot. Typically, if your cat just has a bad case of the zoomies, it's once or twice a day. It's not something that you're seeing constantly. If your cat has never had the zoomies before or hardly ever has the zoomies and then all of a sudden starts doing it all the time, that's when you want to check in with your veterinarian. But again, that is so few and far between. It's not something that I would be concerned about at all unless it's a behavior that has recently started and just accelerates very quickly. Zoomies can happen for a number of reasons. It's really a typical behavior in cats and not usually something that you should be too concerned about. But one of the reasons why your cat may get the zoomies is sleep habits. Cats usually get the zoomies after a long nap. They've got all this energy pent up and they'll just kind of race around for a minute, burn some of that excess energy, and then they're fine. Because cats sleep most of the day, in order to conserve energy, your cat can actually sleep anywhere between like 12 and 16 hours a day, the average cat. So when they're awake, they're really awake. They've slept a lot. They have all that energy inside. After a long nap, they just kind of take off from one end of the house to the other, burn that energy, and then they're all set for a while. Hunting instinct, as I mentioned, another reason why your cat may get the zoomies. Despite getting all the food that they need from you, if you're, feeding your indoor cat or your indoor-outdoor cat, cats are innate hunters. It's ingrained in them. It's their natural instinct. They have that natural predatory instinct. So sometimes it may seem like your cat is chasing nothing, but more than likely they're pursuing imaginary prey or something that they've seen, around your house, a little fuzz floating around or something like that. So to get a sense of your cat's hunting skills, you can toss a few pieces of kibble or cat treats down the hallway, and you'll see they instantly do the same thing that they would do when they get the zoomies. They kind of take off real quick and sort of stop, pounce, and then run the other way. And that is just that natural hunting instinct in them. Even indoor cats have it. Even if you've had your cat since a kitten and it's always been indoors, it's ingrained in them. It's that natural predatory instinct. So you will see the zoomies come out in indoor cats specifically to try to get that natural instinct, to try to release that natural instinct, I should say. So the other thing that I mentioned was bathroom issues. Many cats seem to use the litter box and then take almost like a victory lap. They feel better after they've released their urine or their feces, and they just get really excited about it, and so they kind of take off and have the zoomies. It can also be really uncomfortable if your cat stays like a little bit constipated, or maybe they've been holding it for a while. They can be uncomfortable, and so when they release that, they get out and they have this little burst of energy because they're just feeling better. If your cat is otherwise healthy, you really don't have anything to worry about. If, as I mentioned, you notice excessive zooming, keep an eye out for any other unusual behaviors that may be a sign that something's wrong. If your cat starts being really vocal, if they experience any like weight loss, weight gain, if you notice different behaviors, if your regularly social, lovable, snuggly cat starts kind of being a loner and looking for places to hide, those can be signs paired with, I should say, the zoomies, that something's wrong. So if your cat's otherwise healthy, he's just having a little bit of fun, letting out some of those natural instincts, maybe just kind of celebrating that he feels a little bit better after a bowel movement. So typically nothing to worry about. Once you have determined that the Zoomies are just nothing to worry about, you can try to plan play sessions around when your cat seems to have those Zoomie attacks, I guess you could call them. So if your cat typically does it when they first wake up, that's something that, you notice your cat kind of waking up, stretching, it's time to play. So play with them for a little while and then you won't have the Zoomies, especially if your cat tends to, say, climb up furniture or curtains or something when they have a bad case of the Zoomies. Just when you notice kind of it's that time where they would normally start running around like crazy, break out some toys or a string, something, play with your cat, a laser pointer, do something to burn that energy without being destructive around your home.